Okay, G. So,
Okay.
hi everyone. I'm Oscar, and this is Tech Tribe Podcast, where we build a tribe of tech leaders. For today's episode, our guest is Miss Andrea Faith Alimorong. So, good evening, Andrea. How are you?
Hi, good evening, Oscar. Thank you so much for inviting me today.
Yeah. So, before we continue, I just want to share this short story. Uh, nakita ko si Miss Andrea when Sir Ziggy Zulueta reposted an event. No? And then, nakita ko si Miss Andrea parang ni-repost niya yung share ni Sir Ziggy. Kasi Sir Ziggy, I invited him last semester during my tenure at Holy Cross College to talk about Microsoft and AI. So yeah, medyo connected tayo kay Ziggy. Then eventually, nakita ko si Miss Andrea para siyang connected siya sa ICPEP.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
part of ICF.
Yeah. I'm a professional member and a lifetime member of ICPEP kasi. So, nakita ko si Miss Andrea na ICPEP din pala. So, I got excited na we have here ay a computer engineering student na nag-excel talaga in the field of tech. So, lately, napansin ko napakadami niya achievements, accomplishments, hackathons, and previously, I think before she graduated, meron siyang mga organizations na nasalihan. So, yeah, I'm very thankful tonight na pinagbigyan niya tayo. Sabi nga niya kanina, no, before we started, instead na nagpapahinga. And here we are, sharing ideas, sharing experiences. So, yeah, kamusta, Miss Andrea? How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm really grateful for this opportunity kasi it was actually my first podcast.
Okay,
Uh,
okay.
so it's a little surprising and grateful ako overall kay Sir Oscar kasi it's not every day you get invited to a podcast, especially for a podcast na about tech. So, I believe I can really share some insight and hopefully maging useful siya to all of your viewers, especially the computer engineering students. Since,
Yes.
I've been always embracing my computer engineering background. Tinulungan ako super ng ICPEP as a vice president in the previous years ng ICPEP. So, malaki yung contribution niya. So, I think this is my way on giving back to the community. So, really grateful overall.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you very much. Then let's start. So lately, nakita ko yung LinkedIn post about the ICP Hub. Ano ba ang
Yeah.
will you please share this story behind it?
Okay. So for the ICP have is it was just actually a spur of the moment.
Mhm.
We never really thought na matatapos namin yung project in no time. It's like a 3-day hackathon for us kasi uh it includes the ideation, yung pagpo-program namin and everything. So surprisingly, I was able to find a teammate same school with me. Is currently a junior in TIP right now, currently taking computer science. So it's a great thing for me to know na, meron palang people who's really interested in taking hackathons kahit na nasa lower years pa lang sila. So going back to ICP, I am really grateful to Sir Nelson and the entire ICP Hub for this opportunity kasi we were able to showcase an approach wherein we can help farmers. So ever since helping farmers is really malapit siya sa puso namin even though during our thesis, they are one of the people na we approach during those times. So, it's a first-hand experience na, malaman namin kung ano talaga yung mga totoong struggles ng mga farmers na to. So, combining farmers and, ICP blockchain, what can we do? So, that's why we implemented the procedure of this blockchain approach into helping farmers like them. So
Okay.
yeah.
So anong name ng inyong hack?
Okay. The name of our project is Daffy. So
Daffy. Okay,
basically,
what's
yeah,
Daffy?
yeah, Daffy. Ang Daffy is basically um decentralized finance siya. So if you guys are familiar with decentralized finance, it's a great opportunity for us to, ma-reach out yung mga farmers kasi it's actually interesting kasi we actually interviewed real life farmers on this one.
Okay.
So, medyo ano siya sa amin, bago kasi
Mhm.
you don't talk to farmers every day.
Yes.
But ang target namin with this project are the small scale farmers. So, usually itong mga farmers kasi na to, they struggle about their capitals, tas kung paano nila ma-scale yung operations nila. Especially they have limited formal financial records. We don't even have an actual financial records for them. So our solution, Daffy, we leverage the agricultural financing, by integrating Web3 innovations.
Okay.
This I'm just gonna give you an overview. Basically, Daffy have 4 points. There's a tokenization of assets, wherein
Mhm.
farmers convert crops, livestock, and land use rights into secure digital tokens. And the next one is that we have the decentralized identification or DID. We have the
Okay.
DeFi ecosystems, and lastly, we have the ICP features.
Mhm.
So this is where we implemented the smart contracts, on-chain governance. I won't be very technical about this, but it's basically an infinite scalability that make Daffy secure and user friendly, given na ang target natin is agricultural sector. So that's basically it.
It is very interesting, ano? Tokenization of their assets, no? So itong ICP
Yeah.
is in internet protocol. Meron silang parang ang tawag dito. Nakalist sila sa no, coin market.
Yeah, they are currently in the coin market, yes.
Yeah, okay. Nagets ko na. I thought tong ICP is just a group eh. Now
Yeah.
you're telling me na sila pala yun. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
So,
yeah. Okay. So paano nangyari dun sa tokenization? Will you
like,
please elaborate that? Oo. Ano
I can
nangyari sa
really
project? Natuloy ba?
the project naman, yeah. Currently, thankfully to Sir Nelson and the entire ICP, we won a 25,000 pesos
Mhm.
cash for this one, plus a $5,000 grant. So those money will be used into pushing this project. So I believe their team is gonna help us, incubate the entire project. So I'm truly grateful kasi usually talaga I've joined several hackathons, but some projects are just gonna be dumped after. Like, let's be
Mhm.
realistic. After hackathons,
Mhm.
it's just gonna be okay. We propose an idea, and then you don't know what's gonna happen next. So grateful ako kasi after the hackathon, the team actually reached out to us na, we're gonna incubate your project. We're gonna see if there's gonna be a future for this one, and we can see the possibilities. Ganon. So the next one would be to push through the project, get more investors, I guess,
Mhm.
to really implement the project in real life scenarios. Especially what we're targeting is the government. So we kind of reach out to the
Okay.
Department of Agriculture na uh, we're gonna pitch the idea to them. So we were able to talk to the director. So it's a great thing na for now kasi parang may progress na siya.
Mhm.
And you know, it's kind of surprising on my end kasi nga hackathons don't usually go this way na my next plan. So yeah, great experience for me overall and my team.
So, pwede mo bang ulitin yung yung 4 ah,
Mhm.
yung 4 core ng
Or
DAF?
Daffy. So first, as we have the tokenization of assets.
Yes,
So
organization of assets.
basically, farmers convert crops,
Yes.
livestock, land use
Yes.
rights, secure
Mhm.
digital tokens. Kasi wala
Smart
silang formal
contracts.
financing records. Yes, exactly.
Mhm.
Then the next one is we have the decentralized identification or DID. So
Okay.
farmers and investors establish a trust. Kasi what's the reason why farmers or investors doesn't invest on farmers? It's because wala silang
Wala
proof.
silang yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that their money is gonna
Wala
come
silang
back.
history, yes.
Yeah. So by this trust, there's a verifiable identities, and
Mhm.
reputation systems para
Mhm.
ma-leverage na, okay, you're a farmer, but not just a farmer. We can trust you with our money. That's the
Mhm.
goal. So the third one is the DeFi ecosystem. This is
Yes.
very famous, like the DEXs with automated market makers, like AMMs, yield farming, and everything in that. Then lastly, we have the ICP features. So basically smart contracts,
Yes, I see.
on-chain governance,
Mhm.
and infinite scalability that make DAFI secure. So I would personally recommend for people to use ICP kasi it's really
Mhm.
easy to implement and integrate to your project. Not just because of this hackathon, but it was actually just my first time using this protocol. But it's really good and it's easy to implement, and they have like full documentation. So for students, especially those taking thesis in CPE, they can really use this one. I would really recommend it.
Hmm. Ah, talaga ba may background ka sa blockchain? Or it's your first time na ano?
I have a few background, but I can't really say that I'm expert
Mm,
on that
mm,
matter. I just started exploring blockchain, I guess, during my fourth year. I was
mm,
able to meet like a few people on the Web3 community.
mhm.
This is actually my second hackathon on uh about blockchain. The first one is Ton. This is the second one, but uh I think overall, Web3 has a huge potential, and kino-consider ko siya. To, kasi I'm a big fan of people who have startups, and I think Web3 is a great opportunity for those people na nag-aim din to have their own startup, especially for those aspiring people kasi nga you don't have money on your own pa. So, uh, some of them there are pre naman ganun. So they offer different types of services na magagamit mo on your own. So it's a great thing.
Yeah. So before pumasok ang AI, blockchain ang pinakasikat talaga. 'Di ba? Nandiyan
Yeah.
si
Mm.
Bitcoin, si Ethereum, and then
Yeah.
nandiyan na si lahat dumami na ng dumami, no?
Yeah.
And dati napag-uusapan din how blockchain could disrupt the local government. Kasi
Mm.
especially sa agriculture sector, tama din sinabi mo, not only in the agricultural sector, but especially dun sa mga land ownerships din. Kasi
Mm.
naging problema
Yes.
natin ngayon, ako, merong bakanting lote dyan. Tayo ko ng bahay. Walang nakakita. Ako lang. Then, eventually, pwede ko na siyang angkinin. Di ba?
Yeah.
Unlike with the blockchain, meron kang contracts, meron kang blocks na makikita mo nga, oh, ito yung pinanggalingan niyan, ganyan, ganyan. And hindi siya mawawala. That's
Yeah.
the good thing.
There's a sense of ownership.
Yes,
Tama.
meron siyang sense of ownership na hindi mo sasabihin na matagal na yan, walang nakatira diyan, walang may-ari niyan. And then makikita mo yung
Mhm.
blocks mo, yung chain mo, then ito pala yung history niyan. So hindi pwedeng sa'yo yan kasi ito yung nangyari diyan. So I think that's one of the good reasons why blockchain is very kailangan din i-integrate in the local government, not in the local government setting, but in the government as well. Do you have any vision how the government would use blockchain as a whole in not only in the agriculture sector but the entire system?
Yes, I kind of did my research naman before, pero
Mhm.
just like what I mentioned, I'm not very I'm not an expert when it comes to
Yes.
blockchain, but for me, we can use blockchain beyond cryptocurrencies.
Yes,
So
yes.
may mga highlights pa na use cases, not just within cryptocurrency. Kasi if you're familiar with Axie or the different types of cryptocurrency
Yes,
gaming,
actually.
like ownership of its in-game assets through NFTs or something
Mm,
like those.
mm,
So those are the most prominent one na naririnig natin.
mm.
But I think there's more. There's more compared to that. I think it can be implemented din sa voting systems. It's possible for you to
Yes.
ensure election transparency and
Mm,
reducing fraud.
mm, mm.
Tapos you can use it sa education, credential verification,
Yes, credential verifications, correct.
credential verification, tamper-proof blockchain certificates,
Mm,
ganon. Tapos pwede ka rin even energy,
mm.
decentralized energy grids, like,
Yes, energy grids.
peer-to-peer energy trading. So,
Yes.
there's a lot more than, just gaming and using NFT. So, I think if people can just explore it more, kasama na ako dun, if I can also explore it more siguro in the future, there's a lot of possibilities for us to implement and to use blockchain with a good cause.
Mm,
So even though blockchain is really amazing, marami siyang kayang gawin, we still have to consider the challenges. kasi may mga challenges in terms of blockchain adoption.
Mhm.
So first, sama dyan yung energy consumption.
Yes.
Energy consumption. We have a lot of environmental concerns with certain consensus mechanisms like Bitcoin mining and so
Yes.
on. We also have like a regulatory uncertainty, need for global standards. We are very mindful about that. Saka, at last is yung education gap, lack of widespread understanding of blockchain technology. I attended like one Web3 event. I think it's way back future proof. And na-mention na pitfall ng blockchain is for it to be used just because it's famous, pero hindi dahil kailangan. So
Mhm.
there's a lot of people who will just gonna implement blockchain without actually knowing how blockchain works
Yes.
or kung gaano siya makaka-leverage sa business niya. So, siguro, I just want to emphasize din na blockchain is not limited for people who just graduated in the field.
Mhm.
Pwede siyang gamitin ng students or academic people, like research opportunities, blockchain scalability. It's a really broad field na kailangan mong aralin before you actually implement it. And once you gain an experience or what do you call this? Once you gain enough knowledge, then implement it using your you can explore it in your business solution for supply chain efficiency.
Yes. Supply chain. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Secure financial transactions. Doon siya papasok kasi nga may purpose na siya on the current project that you are doing. You really see the purpose, not just because it's famous.
Mhm. Yes. So, ngayon kasi, pag sinabi nga natin blockchain, hindi naman siya totally as blockchain sa whole. Ang karaniwang alam ng mga tao, yun nga, Axie, yung mga tokens na ganyan,
Cryptocurrencies.
cryptocurrency, correct. Yung iba naman, doon nga tayo sa NFTs, doon sila pumapasok. But definitely, behind those popular, I could say branches, siguro branches of meron talagang gamit din si blockchain.
May gamit talaga siya. Yes.
So aside from Daffy, sabi mo kayo na second project si Daffy. Meron bang isa?
It's just from Ton. It's like
Okay.
if sa ICP is agriculture yung tinarget namin. For Ton naman, we targeted the freelancer kasi 'di ba parang freelancer as like the digital nomads.
Yes, digital
So
nomad.
wala silang credentials enough. 'Di ba?
Okay.
Wala silang credentials to prove na, okay, kaya kong mag-develop ng software for you. And these are my portfolios. But how can I prove na ikaw ang gumawa niyan? So, doon papasok yung project namin. Parang ganun siya.
Okay. Para siyang ano tawag dito, yung meron kang, nakalimutan ko yung mga terms diyan. Meron kang digital products na ikaw yung gumawa. Parang ganun.
Yeah. Parang ganun siya. Pero, mas malalaman siya ng mga users mo. It's, mag-work siya both ways na, okay, trusted tong person na to, ito yung mga project niya, and I can trust him to do something for me. Parang
yes.
ganun siya.
Okay. Ang gaganda ng mga ideas niyo sa blockchain. No? This is the first time that I have view and na guest that talks about blockchain. Kasi previously ang mga talks ko is AI, cybersecurity, startups, and not totally startups. But sa blockchain, I never thought na blockchain doon talagang interest mo ngayon.
For now, I'm pushing talaga the cloud engineering. Pero
okay.
I just want blockchain to be, it's just a personal hobby for me or side projects, ganun. Kasi open source siya eh. So parang you can access it and it's very accessible for the moment. They provide you the documentation. You know naman, as a programmer, pag hanggat may documentation, we can create projects talaga kahit bago pa yung technology. So, yeah.
Aside from the ICP, nakita ko yung Elevated. Ano naman yung Elevated? Ano ba yun?
Elevated, it's for flatter flow. It's an actually interesting idea for us kasi for this naman, it's like a medical thing naman ang tinatarget namin dito. So, we target those people who suffer dyscalculia. So, dyscalculia are those people who have a hard time, learning mathematics or their analytical skills. So, Flutterflow is a no-code platform wherein you can create your mobile apps na without actually coding. Parang ganun siya. It's like a drag and drop platform para sa mga tao na gustong mag-create ng mobile app but they don't know how to code. So, ang topic namin is, yun nga, yung people with dyscalculia. Ang challenge with this one is that some people are really a visual learner, pero walang enough platform for them to learn. So, hindi natin pwedeng hayaan yung mga people with dyscalculia just to, okay, di ka marunong mag-mathematics. Okay, wala akong magagawa for you. We have to do something for them. So, we created a mobile app that integrates an augmented reality or
Okay.
AR, wherein makakapag-aral yung mga people with dyscalculia from the basics up until the most, crucial mathematics form na makakapag-aral sila with interacting. Kasi, dyscalculia, there's a research na nadi-discover ang mga people with dyscalculia are mostly sa kids. So, mga bata sila.
Okay.
So, how do you get kids na mag-focus on one thing? In a game approach. So, we
Okay.
created a game. So, it's an educational platform, but it's a game na AR siya. I mean, how cool is that? Na you can touch the number.
Yes,
Diba?
yes.
You can touch the number just by using your phone. So, even those kids na may dyscalculia, it's a great thing for them to interact kahit sa bahay lang sila. Okay, 1 + 1, it's 2. You can just grab the number 2 and then unconsciously, they are learning kasi nga, it's interactive, it's a game, and plus there's quests. Alam mo naman the people that get competitive, diba, kapag may game, okay, kailangan ko matapos yung round na to, yung level na to get up. So, I can get enough points or experience points para makapag-level up. So, even us, as the programmers, we enjoyed it. So, tried to reach out sa mga schools na meron ng students with dyscalculia. So, we kind of let them test the project. And then, so far, it's just fulfilling for us kasi nga, these kids na hindi marunong masyadong mag-mathematics, it's like a newfound platform for these teachers na nagtuturo sa mga ganitong bata. Kasi nga, it takes extra effort for them to teach these kids. And we just want to help these people, to have a tool na magagamit nila.
Ano specific mathematics yan? Ano, ano lang talaga?
Basic from basic addition, subtraction, tas may mga problem solvings na siya. So, may curriculum siya na yung curriculum is hindi naman namin siya kinuha from the internet. Kinuha namin siya from one of the schools in Antipolo. So, meron talaga silang curriculum para sa mga batang ito. So, kaya after namin ko na yun, in-adapt namin yung content. So, we just did it using the Flutterflow.
Oo nga, kasi right now, yung mga bagay talaga, pag lahat sila nakatutok lang sa phones. Now, you're integrating augmented reality, para naman medyo may mga ano naman sila.
Oo, mas interactive siya at some point, yes.
So, kasi yung mga bata talaga ngayon, nakaupo, ganyan, swipe dito, swipe doon. The good thing about having the AR is talagang meron silang movements. Di ba? Unlike nga sa ngayon. Anyway, so kumusta siya ngayon? In-adapt ng mga schools or do you have, what are your plans sa
ipapa-adapt namin sa mga school na may mga SPED curriculum. So it's a good thing for me. Pero for now, hindi pa siya one of the priorities kasi we still need the budget to push through, ganun.
Hindi niyo siya isinasaya sa PSC? Sa DICT Startup Challenge? Or any grants, funds sa DOST, ganun?
Hindi pa for now. Kasi we're kind of focusing pa on one project at a time. So, for now, si Daffy muna. Siguro, push through namin siya on the future.
So, meron kayong sa agriculture, meron din kayo sa EdTech. I think EdTech siya, papasok.
Yes, it's EdTech.
How about the, AlgoQuest? Ano may AlgoQuest?
AlgoQuest. Oh, it's also, AlgoQuest is one of the first AR project that we have created. Ito naman is for artificial intelligence naman siya. So,
napakadami mo namang meron kang
maraming fields na masarap i-explore. Especially computer engineering is both hardware and software kasi 'di ba napakalaking field niya. So nasa sayo na lang talaga on how you can explore everything. So, ito naman is AI. So, parang meron naman tong adaptive learning approach. So, parang uh, kasi tayong mga developers, we kind of forget the basics usually. Na parang we focus on the complex stuff na minsan, kasi ito yan, we kind of did a study na, yun nga, programmer sila and everything. Pero we gave them a logic gates question. Tapos parang they kind of forget how to do logic gates. So, it's parang nakaka-bother siya at some point na some people forget the fundamentals given na ayun yung roots natin na dapat alam natin in the very first place. So, AlgoQuest is like a refreshment course for people na gustong matuto ng AI, gustong mag-refresh ng AI, and gustong i-grasp kung ano yung capabilities of AI. Kasi for now, we're really amazed sa kay ChatGPT, sa mga bagong
Yes.
chatbots na na-encounter natin. Pero, what if on their own, makakreate sila on their own na hindi sila magiging dependent kay ChatGPT? I usually, nakatanggap ko yung question na, can AI really replace people in the field? And my answer is always like this. Sabi ko, people cannot be replaced by AI, but AI can replace people who doesn't use AI.
Yes, correct.
AI is like a tool for us. Madali lang mag-debug because of AI. Pero it doesn't mean sa kanya may papagawa yung code mo.
Yes.
Kahit tinutulungan ka ni AI mag-debug, natulungan kanyang hanapin yung error sa code mo, it's still a good thing kapag alam mo yung fundamentals or you know how the syntax work. Kasi that's your foundation. So, we gave importance sa foundation ng programmers at saka ng mga taong hindi sila familiar sa programming. So for now, maybe the foundation of AI muna. Then the next thing is that matututo ka na mag-program. Let's be curious to the point na makakapag-create ka ng another tool. Pero wag ka na tayo ma-overwhelm na, okay, hindi na ako mag-aaral kasi AI can help me naman in the future. That's not the goal of AI. So let's not forget na AI is just a body, pero hindi dapat dumepende. I remember last month, I think nag-down si ChatGPT. And people are panicking. So, that's the thing na concerning. So, instead of being concerned na mapapalitan ng AI yung work mo, why not utilize it in a way na dapat siyang magamit kung saan siya talaga meant magamit. AI is not meant for you to na magamit mo siya in a way na gagawa siya ng essay for you. No, it's not. Pwede niyang gumawa ng timeline for you pero the idea can still be coming from you.
Yes.
So that's how it works. So, etong AlgoQuest, it's a game na AR na mapapaintindi sa mga tao how it works so that the next time, maybe sila na yung makapag-create ng breakthrough. So, para siyang ganun. Diba, on their own. Malay natin, sa ngayon, ang alam niya, logic gates. Then next time, alam niya na kung paano nag-work ang convolutional neural networks.
Yes.
We'll never know, di ba? So, we always have to remember our basics, know our fundamentals, kasi at the end of the day, ayun yung pinakamahalaga sa lahat.
We must all know all the basics. Di ba?
For me, kailangan ko rin ng refresher from time to time.
Hindi mo kasi pwedeng, yun nga, napaka-dependent mo sa AI, hindi naman pwedeng gano'n. You have to develop. Meron nga akong na guest before, I don't know kung kilala mo Sir Alan Tan in predictive systems. Sabi niya sa akin, yun daw mga teachers today is yun nga medyo takot daw sa AI kasi it could replace them. Sabi naman din niya, no, sabi niya ganun, hindi sila mapapalitan. Those person na hindi gumagamit nga ng AI. Tapos sabi ako nga sir kako, yung AI sa pagtuturo, ginagamit ko siya. To be honest, ginagamit ko siya. Pero, when I give exams, siyempre mga estudyante, sabi na, sir, online na lang ang exam natin, sir, baka pwedeng ito na lang, ganyan. No, kayo, hindi pwede sa akin ng online exams. Alam ko yung mga style ninyo. Sabi ko, face-to-face ang exam natin, pen and paper. Sabi ang ganun. Kasi, talaga naman, ginagamit ng teachers, ginagamit ng students, nasa atin na lang, paano ba natin i-integrate talaga in a correct manner si AI.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
exactly.
So lipat naman tayo, aside from those medyo technical side, doon naman tayo sa medyo soft side. How about the TED? Ano ba yung TED?
Okay. So for the TED, it was actually a dream come true for me kasi
Yeah.
ever since I've been watching TED Talk sa YouTube,
Yes,
I've
TED
been a
Talk.
fan since grade 7 up until now, nag-graduate na ako ng college. So it plays a huge part on me kasi TEDx is the dream. So for now, for this opportunity, I was able to lead one as an
Mhm.
executive producer. So it's overwhelming at first, pero uh, it's a great experience for me kasi I was able to meet people, yung mga speakers, na-meet namin sila personally. And nakaka-starstruck at first kasi these people are the leads sa tech. May mga leads from Google. So, it's a great opportunity na makausap mo sila kasi they share a lot of insights. Saka, they really know their stuff. Kasi I met the founder of Behavioral Signals.
Mhm.
So this guy is like one of the experts sa field. Kasi ang galing lang na they can, sabi nga nila, naniniwala rin kasi ako na when you really know your stuff, kaya mo siyang explain sa 7-year-old.
Yes, yes.
Di ba?
Correct.
So, these people from TED, hindi lang sila, na founder sila or, experts sila sa subject matter for a reason. So, it's great na ma-experience siya firsthand and hindi sa YouTube. Kasi, TEDx usually, ang goal nila is to motivate, to educate. And I kind of feel how they embody that firsthand. So, it's a great opportunity na ma-encounter sila, makausap sila personally regarding their insights. So, yeah, overall a great experience and I was able to meet a lot of people from different countries na pumunta pa sa Philippines just to witness this event. So, I would really encourage people to, watch TEDx from time to time kasi you don't know how it can affect your life personally. I watched one TED Talks, like, sabi niya doon na you can learn anything in 10,000 hours.
Yes. Yes,
Diba?
correct.
Yeah. So, we have this thing in our school kasi na ang mantra namin is lifelong learner, problem solver, and innovator. So, the first one is the lifelong learner. And I think nagsishare si Ted at saka yung natutunan ko in our school na as a lifelong learner, masarap mag-aral every time. There's always a thirst for knowledge, regardless kung tech yan or soft skills. So, it's really important for us to always fuel kung ano man yung meron tayo. Kasi kung ang field mo ay computer engineering, do more about it. Parang ganun siya. So, TED is like a motivation for me. It's a living reminder na you can always do more and just because it's hard, it doesn't mean it's impossible. So, you just have to push through. So, ganun yung parang dating sa akin ng TEDx. So, great experience siya for me na I was able to lead one. And it's like a dream come true. Ayun.
Yes. Sa mga audience natin na hindi alam yung TED, to be honest, TED yun eh. Di ba yung X yata is parang anong notion ng X na yun? Is a...
Parang siyang subscript. Pero ayun kasi yung typical na basa na sa kanya. So, yeah. So, parang, yung next, di ba, TEDx, tapos yung next,
Yes.
yun yung parang license nila. So, Manila, kung iyon, kung gano'n.
Yes.
Yun siya.
So, TED is a series of videos, makikita naman siya sa YouTube, ng iba't ibang experts in the field. No?
Yeah. Not just in tech.
Yes, not just in tech. Meron sa psychology, meron sa energy, meron sa saan. No? Doon nga din, I think, doon yata nakilala si Simon Sinek sa leadership eh. I don't know kung si Simon.
Parang familiar siya sa akin, si Simon Sinek.
Yung sa why, yung find your why, parang ganun. And doon din ako nakikinig nung sa may about procrastination, the science behind it. And aside from that, yung sa kay A Brief History of Tomorrow, A Brief History of Tomorrow, doon yata siya ni-introduce yung book niya. Napakadaming ideas dun sa TED na yan. And
Totoo.
congratulations on being the executive director, yeah,
Producer.
yeah. So kung siguro kung ako kasi hindi ako naka-experience ng mga ganyan nung medyo bagay. So I'm here in Nueva Ecija and malayo talaga ang industry namin dito diyan. So yeah, definitely let us proceed on the may restart AWS program.
Oh, AWS Restart. So, ito na yung nag-open ang doors for me sa cloud naman.
Yes, go.
Sa cloud computing naman siya. So, AWS Restart basically offers people who are interested in cloud para magkaroon ka ng foundations or fundamentals. So, I was chosen as a scholar sa AWS Restart. So, basically, isa tong online course, pero you really have an instructor. Tapos they provide you materials na you can use to learn cloud. So, AWS Restart lets you meet people from the field. So, meron tayong tinatawag na AWS Certified Instructors. So, these instructors are those people na parang certified sila to teach cloud. Ganun yun. Tapos, you get to meet na even though you're a scholar, magkakalayo yung age nyo. Na parang there are students, there are people na nag-shift sila ng field. Tapos it's a great thing kasi alam mo nagwo-work siya kasi one of our classmates originally I think she's taking BS psychology.
Mm-hmm.
So parang nag-shift siya ngayon ng field into tech. So cloud yung interest niya and AWS Restart gave her an opportunity to explore cloud. And I think right now, meron na siyang work sa cloud. So that's how you know it works. Kasi even though from a field ka na non-tech, so
Yes.
usually, let's be real na medyo mahirap mag-grasp ng mga technical terms kapag gano'n. Pero that's how I can prove na ang AWS Restart is very friendly to those people na nag-shift ng career. Kasi after the AWS Restart, they're gonna give you like a voucher for you to take ng certifications, which is the AWS Cloud Practitioner.
Okay.
So after you graduated ng AWS Restart, they're gonna give you like $100 voucher for you to take. And I think most of my batchmate have already taken theirs. So after nun, they got different job offers sa mga AWS partners company.
Mm-hmm.
So yun, nagkaroon siya ng work as a cloud engineer on different or several companies around the Philippines, ganun. So, it's not just kung sakaling meron ka ng alam sa tech naman, it's a great opportunity pa din kasi they open doors for you kasi marami silang partner na company. I think they are partner with GoTime, GCash. So, magkakaroon kayo ng career fair after and it's a great opportunity for everyone kasi you get to submit your resumes, ganon. So, magandang start siya even though nag-shift ka from non-tech. Although meron ka nga lang talagang advantage if you're already in tech kasi ituturo pa rin sa'yo on how to use Python and everything, how networks go. So, ganun siya. So actually, to those who are gonna listen na may mga computer engineering listeners ka here sa podcast mo, I think may next batch sila this year and I would really encourage them to join AWS Restart. Na baka ma-discover nila ang cloud, the cloud field, the cloud computing field and how it works.
Yeah. So, yun pala is not totally for the students but for the career shifters.
Yeah, it's for everyone. Yeah,
everyone,
it's for
iba't
everyone.
ibang fields, no? Sa mga iba't ibang experts. So, okay. So, marami rin talaga nag-shift into tech. That's for sure. Di ba?
Yeah.
So, sa psychology, mga mga nurses, mga real estate brokers, yan. Marami rin kilala na from nursing nung pandemic kasi nasa private na hospital. Then na-lay off siya, then suddenly nag-tech siya, parang naging software engineer siya. And aside from that, mga civil engineers din na may kilala na nawala ng trabaho dahil nag-close yung mga borders, pinabalik sila. Alam mo naman, pag civil engineers ka, you have to be on site.
Yeah, on-site sila talaga.
On-site sila. Well, pagka you're into tech, pwede kang maging remotely work, di ba?
Mm.
Pwede kang mag-cloud, pwede kang, if you have this, pwede kang mag-online, di ba? So,
Mhm.
that's how tech is very, ano ba tawag doon? Not totally useful, but pwede talaga mag-shift. Napakadaming opportunities.
Marami opportunities talaga siya.
Yes. How about, ano bang feeling ng maraming orgs? Marami ka bang organizations before?
Yeah, I think I got like 3, wait lang. I think four organizations.
Yes.
Tapos, I was able to participate like 3 organizations na as officer naman.
Mhm.
I think ano siya, it's both, there's advantage, may mga disadvantages siya.
What are the
Like,
advantages?
yeah, advantage is that mas exposed ka sa field. So, you get to
Okay,
meet people
correct.
sa field. Like, I was part of ICPEP. So, it's very shocking for me na naging vice president ako ng ICPEP kasi it's actually the ICPEP is really broad kasi 'di ba? Parang may student chapter tapos meron kayong regional, may NCR yung ganun.
Mm.
So, one of the advantages that nagkaroon ako ng opportunity to join the CPE challenge.
Yes,
So
CPE.
yung CPE challenge. So nung na-join kami ng CPE challenge, we won the championship na nag-proceed kami sa regional tapos sa Ilocos siya ginanap. So kalaban mo na nun is different ICPEP chapters all around the Philippines. So ano siya, overwhelming siya kasi parang everyone's expecting from you. Pero ang thing dun is you get to meet na may mga another computer engineering students pa.
Mm-hmm.
Tapos, actually, it's a great thing kasi you get in touch with them even after graduating.
Yes,
So,
yes.
it's a great thing kasi after you graduate, pag may mga familiar names, tapos kayo yung magkakakilala and everything. So, you get to invite or join conferences together. You can invite them to another hackathons in the future. Ganun siya. You get to do projects with them, then ganun. So, that's one of the advantage kasi kumbaga ikaw yung may first in line sa opportunities kapag officer ka.
Yes.
Kumbaga, ganun siya. Then, sa disadvantage siguro, I don't really consider, siguro medyo disadvantage lang, pero you have to juggle both your academics kasi and the
Yes.
org life.
Yes.
So, may mga times na mag-overlap si meeting for the org, tas yung exams nyo. So, it's just a matter of how understanding your department's gonna be. And grateful ako kasi very understanding talaga yung computer engineering department that time for us na parang, if you have opportunities, okay, grab that. Okay kami sa ganyan. So, supportive sila sa ganun. So, another advantage din ng pagiging org people is that nade-develop yung yung communication, nade-develop yung kung how you deal with teams na parang, okay, ganito tayo mag-organize ng events, di ba? May mga events and everything. So, it's great to meet people, and aside from that, ang galing lang kasi parang you were able to adopt some of the skills from people na okay, ganito pala yung ginagawa kapag sa programming kasi usually nung ko ICPEP officer ako, may mga seniors pa kami na co-officer ko sila. So, they get to teach us na parang, kuya, ate, how do you get to do this? Yung ganun level. So, it's an advantage for me kasi na-expand mo yung knowledge mo. And sa una, very reluctant ka to communicate with everyone else, pero eventually, magagrasp mo yung idea na these people, malaki yung maitutulong nila sa career mo and also
Right.
sa academics. So, ayun yung overall experience ko sa pagiging org. So, I have like 4 organizations during my college days. I have the ICPEP, the Microsoft, Society of Scholars, and the Ingeniera Philippines. So, it's basically my 4 orgs and grateful ako sa lahat sa kanila kasi they get to teach me things na alam kong hindi ko matututunan if hindi ako sumali sa mga organizations na yan. So, yeah, overall, really great experience for me.
Yeah, aside from that, kasi, I don't know if kilala mo si Miss Athena Abe.
Athena Abe, si Acha? Tama ba?
Atcha.
Okay, Acha Abe. Okay, familiar with her.
Siya yung aking guest kanina, kaya ng tanghali.
Oh, yeah.
Sinabi ko sa kanya, ano ba ang advantages ng meron kang organizations during your college? Sabi niya, number one is career. No? Kasi pagka-graduate mo ng college, meron ka na kaagad network.
Exactly. That's
Hindi yung
actually true.
yes, hindi yung pagka-graduate mo saka pala maghahanap ng mga ng mga network mo. So that is definitely true nowadays kasi siya, sabi niya sa akin, nag-start siya mag-talk, nagkaroon ng engagements, third year college
Yeah.
siya. So doon, ang tingin nga sa kanya is, napaka-ambisyosa naman ito, third year college pa lang, nagsasalita na, wala pa naman siyang expertise. Pero noon yun, nung siguro mga 3 years ago daw. Pero ngayon, napaka-open na ng platform kasi even students, to be honest, karamihan talaga yung students mas magaling pa sa mga teachers. To be honest, especially, sabi nga nung naging guest ko rin dito, ang mga teachers, ang kailangan na nilang gawin is to teach the basic, the fundamentals.
Yeah.
With the help of AI, with the help of the YouTube Academy, mas gagaling pa sila sa mga teachers nila. Kaya hindi mo pwedeng sabihin na, ay, estudyante pa lang yan, walang experience yan, wala pang background yan. No. Kasi totoo lang, kaya nga nagkakaroon ng mga events na ganyan to share din yung mga yung mga experiences.
Yeah.
Diba? So,
sobrang totoo siya na nag-work talaga yung tech community kasi you get a lot of offers din during the events na parang uma-attend talaga yung mga executive or C-level sa mga events. Tapos, I can remember how many internships na yung pwede mong makuha during these events. Marami talagang opportunities if you just gonna open your network talaga and communicate.
Yes. And then kasi kanina din, after ni Miss Acha, kausap ko naman si Sir Gra ng DevCon. I don't know if you're aware with DevCon.
Yeah.
Sa DevCon naman, more on volunteerism din.
Oh yeah, I was invited actually to volunteer sa events nila. Ang babait ng nila, officers and organizers nila actually. Talagang na-embody yung volunteerism sa kanila. Kaya kahit students, ina-engage talaga nila to attend, ganun.
So sabi ko sa kanya, yung bang DevCon is talagang volunteerism or paid siya? So sabi niya, it is 100% volunteerism. Pero kung maghahanap ka ng kapalit, ang maibabalik lang ng DevCon is yung network.
Yes.
Kasi nandun yung mga, gaya na sinabi mo, nandun yung mga executive officials nila, nandun yung mga boss na pwede sila nag-offer nga ng internships, ayan.
Yes.
Kung nandun ka, you are always present with their events, syempre nandun yung mga executive, yung mga sponsors nila. And then pag nakita yung work attitude mo, sabi nga ni Sir Gra, pag nakita ng sponsor yung iyong work attitude, doon pa lang sa moment na nag-volunteer ka, baka meron ka ng internship ka agad.
Yes, totoo siya. Actually, it really works talaga.
Kaya
hindi
mo sabi pag nag-volunteer ka, walang mangyayari. Basta always be present during the events. Dito sa amin kasi, to be honest with you, iba kasi ang tech community here in the province, diyan sa Manila. Diba? Sa amin dito, wala naman kaming AWS, wala kaming Google Developers Club, wala. Sa amin kasi is, yun nga, ICPEP. No? So, that's one of my advocacies din na let us bring the tech communities here in the province. Kasi, I think, for me, kung tatanungin, masyado ng populated ang tech dyan sa metro, di ba? Why not bring the tech communities here in the province? And kasi sabi din nung iba kong, I don't know kung kilala mo si Ivan Chavez, the computer engineer there in Cagayan de Oro. Sabi niya, we have talent pools in the province.
I actually believe that. Sobra.
Yeah. Pero
maraming undiscovered na undiscovered skills sa province talaga.
Yeah, nasabi naman na merong iba't ibang situations na hindi naman nasa-solve ng mga tech giants sa metro. Meron iba ang situation ng province of Nueva Ecija, iba yung situation ng province of Cagayan de Oro, province of ganyan, na dapat dalhin din natin dito yung mga tech communities na yan. So that's one of the advocacies na, for example, sa amin nga, yung agriculture, yan, I'm hoping that mas maraming tech related about agriculture, na katulad nga nun sa'yo, sa blockchain mo, hopefully we could benefit from it. And yeah, that's one of the problems din naman namin, na wala talagang tech communities dito sa
Pero
sa
I think it's gonna be possible. Kasi like, I think last year, pumunta yung Philippine Blockchain Campus Conference sa
Mhm.
Cebu. So,
Okay.
I think Nueva Ecija is much nearer. So, it's a possibility. Like, last December, we were able to attend the Tech Nexus sa Batangas naman. It was led by
Oh, nandun ka?
DevCon.
Nandun ka?
Yeah, I was there.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it was in Batangas. Kasi nga, most people na nami-meet ko sa tech communities is not from Manila talaga sila overall. May mga from Laguna. So, ang
Mm.
lalayo nila. So, I think maraming ang undiscovered talents sa province. Kasi, marami silang kayang gawin. Hindi pa lang na-discover ng mga
Mm.
people from Metro Manila. And I think we have to bridge that gap.
Good gap.
Tama talaga yun. Kasi maraming ring resources. Maybe we can do like exchange resources from them kasi kung ano yung mga availabilities dito, investors and everything na maging available din to the tech people sa provinces. So, it's actually a great thing. Sana
Mm-mm.
makapunta rin yung GD, I think DevFest, GDG DevFest
That's it.
sa
Yeah,
Nueva Ecija soon.
yeah, yeah. So ito, how about the your Stellar
Stellar
PH?
PH100. Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Ano may
So
kamusta naman yan? What's
this
the
is
story
actually
behind
one of the proof na tech communities really work.
it?
Kasi Stellar 100 is like ano siya, nomination siya. So
Mm.
I was just nominated by one of the people from my tech community. Ganon. So they're just gonna background check you kung ano yung ginagawa mo, ano yung mga achievements mo in the past. So if you're gonna check the PH100 list,
Mm.
grabe, parang magkakakilala yung mga tao doon kasi
Yeah.
magkakilala yung mga tao doon kasi nga it's a really small world, especially para sa mga computer engineering people like us.
Mm.
Malit lang ang mundo natin pero at the same time malaki. So,
Yes, yes, yes.
'di ba? Parang itong Stellar PH100 is a great for networking din kasi you get to meet din a lot of people from different fields. I think kasama namin yung owner ng isang review center of civil engineering, si Kipap.
Okay.
So, those people na na-meet ko here sa PH100 is there's a lot of knowledge that they can offer to you. So, I didn't really expect na makakasama ako sa PH100, but I'm really grateful for those people who believed and nag-nominate sa akin. So, etong PH100, it's like a startup company, di ba? So, parang they are
Yes.
discovering people. So, right now, I think they have a few projects with people in Manila. So, another purpose of this one is for them to create a startup company with people who doesn't have a lot. So, maganda siyang starting point kasi nga, if wala kang experience on the creating startup company, alam lang natin kung sino ang magiging front-end and back-end, but we
Mhm.
don't really know how it's gonna work. So, kung paano siya mag-move forward. So, uh, I think yung PH100 is yung nag-open sa akin ng doors to enter the startup world. So, after this one, I think I was able to be really updated na sa mga things about the startup on how investing works, how angel investors work, paano ka ba mag-i-start or mag-move forward. So, yeah, I think that's all the things that I experienced during my, during my involvement sa PH100. And, like, let's admit it, since familiar yung mga tao sa PH100, it's a great conversation starter for me sa executives in the future. Kasi after nun, I was able to meet a lot of people, especially sa Web3, na, ayun, they're familiar with it. Tapos you get to start conversations with them. And, ayun nga, this is a proof na nag-work talaga yung tech community. So, I hope next na magkakaroon ng PH100, I hope people from the province can also be part of it. Kasi, baka masayang yung mga potential ng mga tao sa province just because hindi natin nalalaman. So, the next time, siguro, hopefully, ma-bridge natin yung gap between the people from Metro Manila to the province so that magkaroon sila ng same opportunities na na-offer within Manila. So, yeah.
Yeah. So yung palang Stellar PH is ano siya, regardless of like students or kahit graduate na or experts na or
I think regardless siya kung experts ka or student, as
ah,
long as mapo-prove yung knowledge na or
mm,
mapo-prove yung background gano'n, na background checking nila or something gano'n.
okay. Okay. So kasi doon sa Stellar PH I think kasama doon yung anak ni Colonel Francel. Ano, kilala mo si Ma'am Francel? Francel Caberlupa? No, no.
Hindi ka na familiar.
So I think yung isa niyang anak doon, her son was one of the Stellar PH. Startup company rin sila and he's one of the kasama mo siya. Taborlupa yata. Yeah, Taborlupa. I don't know. Aware ka doon. But anyway, so this will be my last question to you. What would be your advice to the students and to the fresh graduates in the field of computer engineering and us sa pagiging members nila ng mga organizations and on their career?
Okay. So for me, ayun nga, one of the things that I always say to people na so to the students or my juniors is for you to focus on your fundamentals and always know what you want to do. Kasi it's really overwhelming for us to explore everything all at once. So since CPE is a very broad field, you have to focus or you just have to pick one na gusto mo talagang i-push uh all throughout your career. So if you want to be an engineer, it's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be easy to, to fight kasi nga the market is really huge for us. Marami kang pwedeng i-offer pero just remember na marami ring nag-a-apply. So one of the things na ma-i-advise ko especially for those fresh graduates is looking for a job, uh before mag-end yung college or even after college, try to explore more. Go there sa mga conferences, attend events kasi there are a lot of opportunities na baka perfect yung what do you call this? Yung skills mo for it. So, another thing is that kung magkakaroon ka ng startup companies or you have to push through sa mga hackathons, you can get a mentor. So, mag-get ka ng mentor na expert sa subject matter. So, atong mga mentors na to, they really have something to offer. And just never stop learning. Kung after mag-graduate, that doesn't mean tapos ka na mag-aral. If you want to have an edge every time, gusto mong maging asset sa every company na mapupuntahan mo, you have to learn to adapt kung ano yung meron. That's one of the reason why CPE wala siyang board exam. Kasi even that's the thing sa CPE, walang concrete na curriculum for us. Nagbabago siya from time to time. So I'm hoping na sa changes na yon, sumabay tayo. So adapt kung anong meron. Today it's AI, today it's blockchain. Pero ano yung tomorrow? Tomorrow there's gonna be a lot of opportunities, there's a lot of knowledge na dapat pang maaral. So if we really want, to push through, maging magaling sa field, I think ako, I really can say na I'm really good with my field. Marami pa akong dapat matutunan. And never stop learning. Maganda yung feeling na always kang may hunger into learning something new. So build, create network, and just do what you can kung ano man yung resources na meron ka. And yeah, I think that's it. Just like what I've mentioned, just because it's impossible doesn't mean it's not gonna be possible eventually. Alam mo, marami tayong breakthrough sa CPE na parang today ito pa lang siya, pero tomorrow maybe we can create more. So ayun, also just meet people na alam mo makakatulong sa career mo eventually. And yeah, thank you so much.
Yes, very true 'yon, Miss Andrea, na engineer. Kasi katulad nung kay Sir Alan na which was he was tapped to be part of the technical panel sa CHED when it comes to ICT related courses.
Mhm.
Ang ginagawa niya is that siya ay nasa industry, tech industry. And he was hired to do this curriculum every year, every 3 years yata nagkakaroon ng changes sa curriculum ng CPE, ng ICT, ng BS Informations, lahat ng related sa tech. So that is very true na wala talagang standard sa computer engineering kasi talagang yung tech bukas iba na,
Nag-iiba na talaga siya from time to time.
from time wala talaga. But the ICPEP has this certification board for us na pwede mong i-take. But then, tama din naman yung sinabi ni Andrea na you have to be lifelong learner. Hindi ka pwedeng maging stagnant ka lang dyan. No? Especially as in the field of innovation, eventually, aral ng aral, hanggang kasi bukas nga iba na naman. Hindi ka dapat may stuck dyan. Kung hindi,
Tama.
yung mga tawag dito, yung mga fresh graduates, they have these new ideas. Pag hindi ka nakasabay, maiiwanan ka. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's actually true.
Yes. And I think the networks, habang nasa college ka, if you have this capacity, time to connect and join other organizations, is one way of exposing yourself sa iba't ibang internships or further pwede ka mag-apply ng trabaho after graduation. Diba? So, yeah, I think that concludes our podcast tonight. And I would like to thank Miss Andrea for accepting our invitation. Kahit medyo pahinga talaga, no? Weekend, I think baka meron pa siyang date or gadgets to date.
Grabe po.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm hoping that hindi dito nagtatapos ang ating samahan dito sa TechTrip Podcast.
Definitely.
Some other time, pagka you have this unicorn sa Daffy and other ventures. Kasi yun nga, no, yung Daffy, based sa ating pag-uusap, napaka-interesting niya, blockchain siya, and in the field of agriculture, na I'm quite interested kasi as in the NVCHA, we are focused especially sa agriculture sector. And I think your idea will greatly affect and benefit us if adopted. No? So yeah, that ends our podcast tonight. See you again soon. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity, Sir Oscar. And I really hope magkaroon pa ng another episode for this one. I really enjoyed talking to you about my experiences and, ma-share your experience ko sa mga fellow computer engineering audience that you have on this podcast. So, yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, see you again.
Yeah, bye.
Picture muna.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, one more. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you so much, Sir Oscar. Bye-bye.
Okay, good night.
Good night.